y'all, welcome to Coloralong. This is Bunny. So in this video here, we have a page. I'm gonna link her name in the description because I don't remember it, and I don't think I could pronounce it even if I did remember it. Sorry, but it's true. Anywho, I purchased this book from her Etsy shop as a PDF, which was so great because before then you could only get her books in physical form, and I was not able to afford that shipping because the shipping was just as much as the book. So when she started to do the PDFs, it's amazing. Anyway, and she has an Instagram, and I believe sometimes she even colors in her pictures on her Instagram to give like a sample of what you can do. So really great. So for this Disney Coloralong that I'm doing on the channel, there are 2 pages in particular from the book, and the book is called Spirits of the Past, or something like that. This page here, and then there's another page that I'm going to do that will be a part of this Coloralong as well. One looks like probably inspired by Ariel, but I'm not going to do Ariel. Well, I may if I have time, but the first one I'm going to do is make it look like Tiana from Princess and the Frog. This one reminded me, of Beauty and the Beast. Obviously, because we have the lion and just this page, it just looks like Beauty and the Beast to me. And it's a fountain, but at first I was thinking stained glass, and then I was like, duh, there's water coming out and she's in front of this well. This is a fountain. But regardless, it reads as Beauty and the Beast to me. So that was the inspiration for this one. So again, we're in that watercolor palette, that only one that I have, and we're doing the background for the fountain, which is a mixture of black and white to make the gray. And I'm almost out of that white because it took a lot of mixing. It takes a lot of water to kind of smooth this paint out. I will say, maybe I should do a coloring supplies video, but I will say with this particular palette, it's also user error because obviously I'm not a watercolor artist, but it takes a lot of water to like smooth out the paint. It took me a while to figure this paint out, but once I did, I really like it. But again, you may end up seeing it. Well, that little gray spot that you see is actually, I think, it might be the black, or it might be the tray underneath starting to show through. Regardless, I went through the white using on this particular page, and then just going through the motions of trying to create stone, which I don't think I did a very good job of with this page here, but it's not really the focus. I could have worked on it more, but I really didn't want to because watercolor reactivates, and it's a little frustrating for me with that reactivation. Perhaps it won't be as much of oh gosh, I'm getting tongue-tied. It may not be as much of an issue when I get a gouache palette. We shall see. I'm thinking of getting that Hemi gouache, if that's the way you pronounce it, Himi. But regardless, we're working on the bricks and the concrete. And if you notice, in a part that's coming up, is I wasn't paying attention, and I actually colored painted over a leaf, thinking that it was part of the brick. So I didn't catch it, so it dried. It was hard to relift it, even though I probably could have relifted it, but I was just like, whatever. And I just painted over it with the green. And so, it's not a hugely big deal. But yeah, that is what we're doing in this section. And I will be back in a few minutes and we'll talk about what happens next. So now we are back and we are focusing on the skin tone. And so I decided not to really cut out anything. I could have cut out bits and pieces, but it would have still wouldn't have mattered because it would have just been choppy. But you will see my indecision of where to put the color, because I may have posted it on Instagram. If I haven't, then I will. My test page, and it's not this page, it is the page that I want to do as Tiana. But I did the entire background. The background was great. And then I went to go do the skin tone, and it was splotchy. And when I say splotchy, I mean it was splotchy. And so I realized that it was that reactivation issue. And so my thought was, do the darker, make sure that I put down the darker color first and then work my way to the light when it came to the skin tone. Like, I'm not going to be able to layer, I'm going to have to pretty much blend. So that's where the indecision came from, when you see me hesitate where I'm going to put this color. Because I really wanted it smooth. I did not want to have to do this again. Even though I'm not super happy with the page overall, I am happy enough that I didn't want to have to redo this. And so I took my time with the skin tone. I also, off camera, as you can see, did the leaves and the moss, because it was just a combination of greens, and it wasn't anything really super special about it. I also think I did the fish off camera because it was just orange and yellow. I really just wanted to focus on and get to the skin tone, as well as I sometimes get into a space of wanting to do a page, and while it's drying, I'm doing something else, or I'm doing other things, and I don't necessarily want to stop, but I can't film at the moment. So I try to do things that isn't such of a big deal to do off camera. So that's what I did. But the skin tone obviously makes a huge deal to the page. So I wanted to make sure that I filmed that for this particular page. And it's really only 3 colors I'm using for the skin tone. And it's the darker brown and 2 lighter browns. And then for her hair, it was the yellowish, the brownish yellow, that lightest brown that you see on the screen, the dark brown, and then black. I probably should have used blue, but I didn't think about it until I had already put down that brown. And I kind of wish I would have done the blue, but you live and you learn, and I'll hopefully will remember to do that on the other page. So again, we're just doing this darker skin tone. I like the way that it came out. I like the see-throughness of the arm and the fabric. And I really do think like this reads as Belle. I'm so super happy with how the person in this page came out. And I added, I think, well, I will talk about the little addition in a few minutes that I think also helped this page along. But I put, oh yes, and there's a bit of black, and it's a little bit of black in the elbow area, because darker skin tends to have hyperpigmentation at the knees and at the elbows and at the knuckles. And so I wanted to make sure that I put that in. Yes, you can lighten it up. Some people do. And some people are naturally just more monotone in their skin tone. I'm not. I have like 5 different shades on my body. And if you saw my legs compared to my face, you would think it was a completely different person. So for me, that's not how I am, and my elbows are definitely darker than the rest of my skin. So and for the most part, that's a typical theme for darker skin tones. And so I wanted to make sure that I've added that into this page. Now, I didn't want to go super realistic, obviously, so I did not add any darkness to where I think the knuckles would be. But since that elbow is there, I made sure that I added that. And then here's when I get into the hair, and as soon as I put that down, I realized that I still wanted to make it blue, but I wasn't thinking, I was just going. And so I just stayed that way. And I probably could have just put the blue over it. But again, I had that issue with the splashiness, so I didn't want to ruin it. So I had already put this down. I said, well, we're just gonna roll with it. And so that's what I did. And then of course, if you watched any of my other videos, or if you're on my Instagram and you see my pictures that I do with people, I tend to do a darker root to a lighter ends ombre, and that usually is blonde. So we did it in this instant as well, and it's going to be black root to a dark brown to this golden blondish brownish color that I think really worked. And then of course we're going to give her I don't do eye makeup, I'm not good at it, but I did watch a video of this she did a Alice in Wonder, I think it's called, her YouTube name is Starbright, but she did a Alice in Wonderland, and she did a really pretty eye makeup. But I am not good at eye makeup in real life or on paper, so I usually skip it. But I will do a lip. So on this, she gets her lipstick and she gets her polish, and it really just completes her look. So as you can see, we're going in with the yellow because remember, she ends up in that yellow gown, and so we want to mimic that with this. So we're doing a bright yellow, and then I'm going to take out that second tray and go with a darker yellow for the shadows. But I really like how it looks sheer on her arm there. It's one of the things that I really like about watercolor. I don't know if I could replicate this with my skill set at the moment in any other medium. Including pencils, which I probably could with pencils, but I'm not quite sure with like acrylic paint. I haven't tried oils yet, so I'm not sure about that either. But yeah, that is what's going on with this particular section, and then I will return in a moment. So now we are back and we are doing our finishing touches as far as her hair and her skin tone. So I'm going to go back in with the darker color and really darken up some areas. If you can see her face, excuse me, her face is on the pale side, and it lifted a little bit on her jawline. So I'm going to darken that back up. And I'm going to also darken up her hair a little bit. And then, of course, like I said earlier, she's going to get her lipstick and she's going to get her nail polish. And then that will be the end of this page. And I am super happy with it. I think the result is reads as Belle. It reads as a scene from Beauty and the Beast. And yeah, and it's another page done for the Disney Coloralong, so I am happy with that. And I'm happy with the skin tone. I'm glad that it worked out for me, because I struggled on that simple piece. And right there, I'm darkening the eye up with that dark brown, and going in and darkening up the area of her chest and that shoulder area that she's leaning over that you can't really see. But yeah, like I'm happy. I think the result looks well. It's not splotchy. I think it's pretty even. I'm getting the hang of it. I think it's pretty good for only having, you know, painted with watercolor in, say, the last 2 months maybe. I think it's been 2 months since I've had this palette. Now, mind you, I have worked with watered down acrylics, and it works somewhat the same but kind of different. But you can't so much as lift up the pigment with the watered watered down acrylic, but it kind of works the same way. But it is I can tell there is a difference when working with the two. But anyway, thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe, comment on the video, share it if you feel inclined to do so. It really helps the channel. It really helps me out. I appreciate you all for watching, and I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.